The chirping of birds served as my alarm clock. Huh? Wasn't today Sunday? Good morning, Keiichi Maebara, the protagonist of this Higurashi story. Time for another round of endless torture. Wasn't it basically my style to stay up late on Saturday and sleep through the morning on Sunday? Why was I waking up at this disgustingly wholesome hour? Maybe because we're so excited to start a new chapter here. Back to sleep. No. You get back up and we shall do some awesome stuff today. Maybe we're gonna be able to spend some time with the girls, finally, after so many incidents that we had before. Oh, there you go.
Keiichi, 起きてる?
Where's it, Mom?
電話よ.
At the moment, the sound of my mother calling from downstairs finally registered. Phone call. I sprang up out of bed abruptly and stampeded noisily down the stairs. It's probably Oishi. Like, Keiichi and Oishi had like a party last night, and we drank all through the night, and now we're hangover. We're having like a hangover. He's awake. I'll put him on right now, my mother informed the person on the other end of the line.
もしもし、俺、どちら様?
おはよう、ケイチ君。
Ohaya, Rena. My sweet little baby.
お寝坊さんだね。
レナか。こんな朝っぱらから何の用だよ。
Also, I'm gonna have to get used to the sounds right over here because, in comparison to Yumineko, where you had to install question arcs once and answer arcs once, I have to set up like the mod for each chapter over here, so some stuff may be a little bit different. I guess we shall see.
朝っぱらってことはないと思うな。もうお昼だよ。
It was 11 o'clock. I guess we could loosely consider that the middle of the day. I guess so. With how people sleep these days. I mean, you know, despite me going for like 2 a.m. in the morning, staying up late, maybe thinking of some stuff, maybe thinking of Yumineko, maybe thinking of Higurashi, maybe reading some stuff. Despite that, I still wake up at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. Which, you know, not enough hours of sleep, but I guess I kinda compensate for that like during the day. Sometimes I take some naps, so I guess it all balances out.
で、なんか用か?
ちょっと待ってね。今、みーちゃんに変わるよ。Good morning, ケイちゃん。
Good morning, Neon.
日本語で言うなら、おはよう、ケイちゃんってとこかな。
ついでに中国語とドイツ語とロシア語でも言ってみろ。
I could say it in Italian. Buongiorno.
ニーハオ、ケイちゃん。グーテンモルゲン、ケイちゃん。ロシア語ダズビダーニャ。知るわけないでしょ
Das Vedanya. I think that's goodbye, right? I remembered that specifically from John Wick. Like, I watched snippets of it, like, recently.
まあいいや。バカな話してたら目が覚めた。
そりゃ結構なことで。でさ、ケイちゃん今日暇？
Actually, now I'm curious. So if I'm right about it, does it done? Yeah. Yeah, I was right. It's goodbye. Okay.
ケイちゃんが大丈夫なら全員揃うんだけどな。
Everybody. Did she mean all the club members?
そうだよ。まあ普段の激戦を思えば休日くらいのどかになんて思ってるかもしれないけど、そりゃ甘いよケイちゃん。
へいへい。あらゆる環境に対応して最善手を模索するのがつまり休日だろうとお構いなしってわけだ。
おお、ケイちゃんも我が部のことが分かってきたね。でどう？これさ。
Yeah, you bet. I had absolutely nothing planned that day. If I were to refuse Club President Mion's invitation, what other fun ways to pass the time would I have?
別に予定なんかねえし。
Ah, the simple times of 1980s where you didn't have as many distractions as you would have in the 2020s. I guess, like, on one hand, I do envy Keiichi in that aspect.
嫌だって言ったら不先輩扱いでどんな罰ゲームを課せられるやら。
そこまで分かってるなら断れないよね。もし OK ならいつもの待ち合わせ場所に1時集合。街へ行くから自転車で来てね。
The bike? Yes. Club activities in town. I love riding my bike. In fact, I'm probably gonna do that like after this as well. Well, we could do them anywhere. Besides, since it was a new venue, there was no way this wasn't going to be intense.
私、おとといの赤杯かなり根に持ってるからね。今日ははっきり言って負けないよ。
A couple of days ago was Friday's club activities. That uncompromising poker match. It was a fight to the death. Nobody held back. Nobody could tell who was in the lead or who was last until all the points were tallied. Okay, so like I do have to ask this myself, and you know, like I was trying to think like how these chapters work in terms of quote unquote reliving some moments. Cause okay, Keiichi is back to sort of a 0.0 type thing over here. He doesn't have memories of past chapters, which, okay. But what about the moments themselves? Are we actually gonna relive the same moments again? Like pokers and zombie games and... Or we're gonna have like completely different moments in this? Probably. In the end, I won by only one chip. Mion came in second. Damn it! To think, if I hadn't squandered that one chip. Mion lamented thus, perhaps more so than the fact that she lost the match. Mion doesn't lose. That's why Mion only whined when she let the champion's throne slip through her fingers. And that's why she was more frustrated than anybody over the close loss. Yeah, Mion is that, what would be the word? Not desperate, but very competitive. So did she mean for today to be a grudge match?
上等だ。おととい同様、一気に畳んで罰ゲームさせてやるぜ。せいぜい自分がやらされても辛くない内容にしとくんだな。
そうこなくちゃ。潰しがいがないもんね。
After that, we exchanged cheers for a bit before hanging up the phone. Da-da-da. As I headed back upstairs hastily to get the key to my bike, I bumped into my mother as she was carrying a futon now.
あら、ケイチ。上機嫌みたいね。お出かけ？
And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm recording this on a Sunday too. What a coincidence.
そんなとこ。俺、みんなと街に遊びに行ってくるから。
行ってらっしゃい。車に気をつけるのよ。
What? Okay, I was gonna question what traffic in this small peaceful village, but yeah, I guess.
夕飯までには帰ってくるのよ。
Yeah, Mom.
へいへい、ちゃんと帰ってくるって。
After unlocking the chain from my bike in the garage, I rebelled a bit in the resistance the slightly stiff pedal gave as I pushed on it. Alright, let's go! Set off on my bike, cutting through the refreshing morning air. Hey Rena, Neon.
遅いよ遅いよ。
ああ、待たせたな。あれ、さとことリカちゃんは？
あの二人はここで待ち合わせるより直接街で合流した方が早いよ。
Oh, I see. If I remember correctly, Satoko and Rika-chan's houses were on the other side, past the school.
そうそう、街で部活ってどういうことだよ。まさかみんなで覆面をして日が暮れるまでにいくつ銀行が襲えるかっていうのじゃねえだろうな。
別にそれでもいいけど、それでも私は負けないけどね。
みーちゃんってね、なぜか現金輸送車の順路とか時間とかをいつもレナに教えてくれるんだよ。なんでだろうね、なんでだろうね。
The bank cars? You mean those giant armored trucks? With possibly some FBI, well not FBI, like SWAT guards? Like in them with armor? I remember those days, back when I was playing GTA. What? I spun around with a serious look on my face and looked at Mion. Well, yeah, it certainly seemed possible that Mion was capable of doing that.
マジかよ、ミオン。
Well, as I said in my theory, if she procured a cure from somewhere, maybe she has some sneaking abilities.
レーナー、あんた何言ってんの。
みーちゃんごめんね、みーちゃんごめんね。
The two of them joked around. That bright laughter was the best match for a beautiful day like today.
おい、二人とも、さとことリカちゃんが先に待ってるんだろ。じゃれてないで早く行こうぜ。
Around and around, fooling about like two fluttering butterflies. I earnestly wished I could just keep watching them like this. But the five of us together would be absolutely more fun.
そうだね。じゃあ行こっか。
目標は10億強奪。山分けしたらみんなで高飛びだぜ。
Alright, let's do robbery. I'm digging this. Hi! The three of us on our bikes headed over the gently sloping hill towards town. Okay, so you know, this isn't something that I question myself, which I probably should, but how long does it take to get to the town? How close is it to the village? Yeah, look at this. Jesus. Accelerating hard, we crested the hill. The view expanded as Okinomiya Station came into sight. It probably takes some time. I mean, last time we were in town, we came here by car with Oishi. We went to Angel Mort and talked about this sort of stuff. I don't think it's really that big of a distance, to be honest. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I do have to also ask this. Is the school also around here? Or where? Like, I honestly don't remember the specific detail of where Rena moved. Like, I don't know if I can say that, well actually, if it was in this town as well, if there is actually a separate school in this town as well, I guess it would make sense. Like, the organization would be close to do their own thing even in this town as well. Yeah, possibly. I occasionally come to the station here. Considering the amount of effort it takes to get here, though, it was quite a hassle. That's why I didn't know much about the area around the station, or Okinomiya itself for that matter. Cause, I don't know, like, for example, if you were to think that, that Rena moved, like, on the other side of Japan, like that high of a distance, and the organization still pulled the plug, well, not pull the plug, but pull the strings behind the scenes with Rena's school and not letting any information leak out, then the organization surely has quite a pull, not gonna lie. But now I'm questioning if Rena's school is actually pretty close to Hinamizawa. It's outside Hinamizawa, but I wonder how close it is actually. The street where we were headed down today was of course unfamiliar to me as well. Going through the railway crossing, we headed past the south end of the station.
こっち側は来るの初めてだな。
こっちにはね、ゲームセンターとかおもちゃ屋さんとかがいろいろあるの。
And, you know, I had been reading like visual novels that I'd say are from this era of when they were written, like Higurashi, Clannad, Muv-Luv. They were written around the same time, like in the early 2000s. And one thing they have in common is like the city, like just the small city with these kinds of roads and just going around, this kind of high school atmosphere and such. It's interesting. Because, for example, all I can think of is a Clannad because of this kind of road. I don't know. Feels like we're going to school. In fact, this specific background, it reminds me of the times when Tomoya was bumping into Kyo with her scooter. It reminds me of those times.
みーちゃんが詳しいよ。
ゲーセンもあるのか。俺前は結構通ってたからな。ゲーマーの血がうずくぜ。
ゲーセン通いなんてケイちゃん不良だね。今度来た時に案内してあげるよ。結構台数を揃えたいい店があるから。
It seemed like the town of Okinomiya was Mion's stomping grounds. The town of Okinomiya. If I asked her, she could tell me a lot of things about it. Eventually, we came across a store with quite a few bikes parked in front of it. Ooh. The gachas! The gachas! Look at those. Is this the arcade? No. It was a smaller shop. Oh my god. Now this actually reminds me of Shenmue. Like I was playing Shenmue, like the first game, and I completed it like I think it was more than a month ago. Like I was playing Shenmue 1 through January, February, and this is it. This is like the 80s. Those gacha machines and that vending machine. Like I was drinking my orange sodas. I was collecting my my Sonic figures, even though technically Sonic wouldn't exist in the 80s, but they existed in the game because Shenmue is made by Sega. So yeah, that's the reason why they put like Sonic figures as well in the gachas. Looking at the window display, it seemed like your everyday toy shop. But for almost 10 kids to be filing in and out of the store, and they were doing almost too well for themselves.
ひょっとしてあの店で今日何かイベントでもあるのか？
その通り。優勝賞金は5万円。
5万円
5万円？
なんだよそれ。平一王国の5年分の GNP に匹敵するぞ。
What? Two cute figures messing about the front of the store noticed us and waved their hands.
皆様方
My babies!
お待ちしてましたよ。
I missed you, Satoko, Rika.
おはようございますなのです。
おはようリカちゃん。さとこ 警察が来る前にケリをつけるぞ。目標は10億強奪だ。
圭一さんの話がわかりませんわ。
Don't question it. We have to do it.
遅くなったかな。リカちゃんたちは今来たの？今日は早く終わったのでだいぶ待ってましたですよ。
そりゃあ悪いことしたわ。こっちはケイちゃんがなかなか来なくてさ。
圭一では仕方ありませんですよ。
Saying that, Rika-chan stretched up and began patting Neon's head. Hey, wait a minute. Neon's head? Are you solving everything by making me the bad guy?
もちろん圭一さんでなくては務まらない大役でしたよ。
Shut it!
実に嫌な大役だな。こんなので丸く収まると思ったら大間違いだぞ。
I was feeling slightly irritated, so I began to repeatedly smack Satoko on the head. Smack, 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 smack.
圭一さんがぶった圭一にいじめられてかわいそですよ。
No bullying little Satoko. Even though I'm not opposed to it either, from time to time.
さとこちゃん泣いてる。
Hello!
お持ち帰り。
お持ち帰り!
悪い人はレナお姉ちゃんがやっつけてあげるからね。
Rennick steadily wiped the tears, which were probably fake, from Satoko's face, while Rika-chan gently petted mine as I lay sprawled on ground. Yeah, this is fine.
やっぱりこれが正しい丸い収め方だよな。
前歯が欠ける前に新しいオチを探した方がいいと思うけどね。
Well then, upsy daisy. In any case, the greeting for today went well. Alright, the usual greetings. Alright, well, let's see. Okay, are we gonna be able to find a little bit of a Sakutaro around here? Man, look at all these toys. Let's see. We have pinguinis. Lion. Oh, well, there's a lion. There's a lion over there. There's some stuff around here. Inside the toy shop, there were about 10 boys around the same age as me. Apparently, they all knew Mion, and finding out that she had arrived, they greeted her with cheers, a few at a time.
みーちゃんはこのおもちゃ屋さんの常連なの。だから友達もすっごく多いの。
Man.
おもちゃ屋の常連って何なんだ？
ほら、ケイチさん、奥をご覧なさいませ。
Following Satoko's prompting, I took a look. There were chairs lined up at tables, almost like some sort of birthday party. I realized it immediately.
まさかこれって部活の会場なのか？
驚いたかい、ケイちゃん。私この店のおじさんと仲良しでね。たまに客寄せイベントってことでゲーム大会を開かせてもらってるんだよ。
Huh. I expand his customer base. I see. Meaning all the boys livening up the place were participants? Actually, you know what? I'm reminded of this. So, like, I'm questioning this. How close is this place to Angel Mort? Cause there was that whole thing about how Mion knew about Keiichi's meeting with Oishi at Angel Mort. So, how would she know that? Was it that someone that Mion knew told her about both of them meeting each other? Which I think I questioned that as well in the first chapter, and I said, would there be like any reason for why that person would tell Mion about this? Unless he said it in passing and they knew Keiichi. Like, they told Mion that he was there. That or Mion was in the vicinity and listened on the conversation. Or maybe she didn't even have to listen on the conversation, but I don't know. But either way, either she was like in the vicinity or she was literally there. I don't know. Like, I am curious.
そうなの。いつもは5人だけど、今日はもっともっと大勢での部活なんだよ。
Right now I was instantly happy about being able to play with so many people, but my expression grew noticeably stern. Oh?
ケイチさんの考えてること、手に取るように分かりましたよ。
What? What do you know?
ほう。じゃあ試しに行ってみようか。言うぞ。せーの。
These are all enemies. Satoga's voice and mine blended together in harmony. We looked over at the participants. After all, the top prize was 50,000 yen. Oh my god. My eyes lit up like a flame. Oh!
ね、ケイちゃん。今日は楽しめそうでしょ。
まあな。ライバルが何人増えようが、狙うものに変わりはないさ。
With 10 more kids as well.
ライバル？
That makes us 16.
はあ、ケイちゃん。クジラが水を飲むとき、今飲んだ水の中に何匹シラスが混じっていたか、いちいち数えてると思う？
What do you mean? She said that in an unpleasant voice, laughing with the aggressive glint in her eyes, reserved solely for club activities. Ah, damn it, Mion. She's as serious as she can get today.
本気なのは私だけじゃないよ。ほら、リカちゃんを見てごらんよ。
Mion pointed, looking at where her finger directed me.
なんだありゃ。
Rika-chan was using those kinds of traits to soften out the group with an almost excessive pleasantness. Oh no. The baby walk.
僕も頑張るのですよ。ファイト、オーなのです。
Fight on! Completely emasculated, the group joined Rika-chan in a cheer. The inside of the store had been consumed by the role of Rika-chan. Damn, she is already chomping at the bit.
今日は楽しくなりそうだね。頑張るよ。はう。
Cinderella was also unusually fired up by the large crowd. Hopping about and running around, she had entered entirely into cute mode. In Rena's case, the real fun starts when her attention gauge fills up. Her happy-go-lucky attitude belied the fact that this was the state in which she was the most threatening. I don't know that word. Mion was making small talk with some of the regular customers she was acquainted with. It was like business as usual with her. Of course, if anybody thought that Mion looked ordinary, they were not qualified to be in our club. The shadow beneath her feet was exuding killer instinct, rising up like a chill wind.
ミオンめ、恥も外部も捨てるくらいに本気だな。
What do you think, Keiji?
ケイチさん知らないんですの？賞金の5万円、ミオンさんの自腹でしたよ。
What? She was putting out the 50,000 yen all by herself? At that moment, a dark miasma that warped Mion's surroundings began to appear.
ん？何？ケイちゃん。私の顔に何かついてる？
Shiver crept up my spine. And not in the usual way that you would feel throughout chapter 1. And that Mion, cornering herself like that, she was putting out the demon lurking within her. Fine with me. Damn it. My knees are shaking like crazy. Alright, let's do this. Before I realized it, the store had filled up with even more people. However, the looks in their eyes weren't confrontational. They were looks of expectation and curiosity. They were the eyes of onlookers who were wondering what kind of match was going to occur, and who was going to win.
最高の舞台じゃねえか。面白くなってきやがったぜ。
It's like the stage for a fighting game. Alright, let's do this. Arena was already fully charmed. Moral laws and common sense held no power before the might of Arena in her cute mode. I definitely didn't want to fight her, if possible.
リカちゃん頑張れ僕たち応援してるよ
はい頑張りますですよ
Rika-chan, who was exuding way too much charm no matter how you look at it, had already won over most of the onlookers to her side. My goodness. When Rika is gonna grow up, she is gonna... she's gonna have quite the power. With her charms. In different ways than right now, of course. Nonchalantly avoiding things had always been Rika-chan's creed, but for her to be blatantly laying out her machinations like this, something was definitely strange. Like Rena, she was somebody who I didn't want to fight if I could help it.
もちろん一番戦いたくないのはミオンさんですけどね。
何度か部活で奴と視線をくぐったが、今日ほどヤバいと思う日はないぜ。
ミオンさん、一昨日のポーカーで負けたの相当根に持ってるみたいでしたよ。
らしいな。つまり今日はミオンの復讐のための特設舞台ってわけだ。
Almost as though she were psychic, Mion turned toward us. Her eyes suddenly conveyed message. You guys just figured that out now? It wasn't just Mion. Both Rena and Rika-chan were more pumped up than they ever Both Rena and Rika-chan were more pumped up than they'd ever been. Yeah, I was gonna pop up today. Without a doubt, there will be casualties.
私とケイチさんがなんとなく置いてきぼりですわね。いかがでございましょう。なんでしたらスマートに初戦をお手合わせ願えませんかしら。
You bet.
そうしよっか。俺もエンジンがかかるまで鳴らしをし。
Yeah, gonna be perfect for a little bit of warm-up and easy win. My spinal column shuddered like it had been struck by a bolt of lightning, and like a pillar of ice was being jammed into it, began to freeze. I could almost see the flames backlighting Satoko with their intensity. Never mind, there's gonna be some difficulty with Satoko as well. Even then, while Satoko was displaying a normal smile, it was cold and inhuman, almost as if it were a plastic mask.
そんなに俺を初戦で消したいかよ。さっきが隠せてないぜ。
あら残念ですわね。ケイチさんにしてはなかなか慎重でしたよ。
Without a doubt, it was a trap. I don't know what she had up her sleeve, but if I fought with Satoko during the opening round, it might also be more certain than if I went against Mion. Yeah, it would surely be more certain. A pitch-black miasma permeated the inside of the store. Did they all want to win that 50,000 yen prize that much? No, that's not right. The only ones competing for the prize money were the casual participants. I was different. I had mistaken this as just a way to fool around on a normal Sunday. It didn't matter when it was, or where it was, or who our opponents were. In our club, the goal is always the very top of the mountain. An intense flame that no strong winds could extinguish, hot enough to melt any steel, began to burn inside me. The fuse had been lit on this unprecedentedly intense club battle. It was then that the owner of the store told me on an lackadaisical? Wow, that was a new word. Lackadaisical voice that it was about time to begin. Okay, time out. I have to know what the fuck this lackadaisical word is. Lacking life, spirit, or zest. Okay. Alright, it was time to begin.
みんないいかな。傾聴傾聴。
Mion began with the formalities, standing in for the owner, and explained the rules of today's tournament. You are only playing to win. There is no second or third place. That's the same rule as our club. There were 15 people participating, and also me. Kinda, like I am this entity that follows the protagonist of each adventure and all that. I am like the spirit guide slash observer of these murder mysteries slash stories in general, rooting for my boy Keiichi right over here. So I am playing with him. We were to split up into 5 groups via draw, and each group would have one winner. Okay, so I guess it makes sense for us to have our own group right over here. Just like us 5, the usuals. Each winner in the first stage would advance to the next in order to compete in the final.
さて、各卓の競技方法なんだけど、これは各卓で好きに決めていいよ。このお店にあるゲームなら何を使っても OK。
Already in club mode DEFCON 1, I didn't let the small gap in the rules go unnoticed.
ミオン、質問いいか。みんな自分の得意ゲームを主張して決まらないんじゃねえのか。
はあ、そうだね。
Are we gonna... how do we decide?
決まらないと始められないね。
The spectators also nodded along. It was only natural. There wasn't anybody who would simply cede to their opponent's suggestion.
紳士的に決めてほしいけど、そういう時は店のマスターが決めるってのでいい？
It was an event at a toy store after all. You'd expect the owner to referee. After that, Mion's rundown continued. It ended with a rule that any losing participants would have to buy the game they lost at. A rather nice proposition for the store. Any losing participants would have to buy the game they lost at. Okay. First, we used a draw to split into 5 groups. Everybody lined up single file and began to draw tickets that the shop owner had prepared. Okay, so it's gonna be at random. It was my turn. Alright, time to draw. Let's see who's gonna be in our group. No matter who I was up against, crush them. Oh, wait, hold on a second. So, it's gonna be like one winner from each group that will move on to the next stage. In that case, I guess... Actually, no, wait, we're 15. No, never mind. We should have like as many of our friends as possible. Because I was thinking 5 groups of 5, so each group would have their own main girl. Like, one group would have Rena, who would win. Next would be Satoko, but no. I guess so. Because I am thinking that this is gonna end up in a final round where it's just the 4 girls and Keiichi fighting to the death. That's how I envision it. So, yeah, let's see. At the moment, Beyond began to laugh with a hawkish gleam in her eye. What? What is it?
当然わかってると思うけど、部活メンバーには一般参加者とは別に罰ゲームがつくからね。
そんなことだろうと思ったぜ。内容はなんだ？
勝者が敗者一人一人に1個命令。
Orders? Okay. Contrary to how simple it sounded, he has a terrifying eventuality, the subject of which no one could predict. Damn you, Mion. Is she really planning on parading me around Hinamizawa in cat ears and banana hammock with a tail attached or something? No? I'd say yes. It is a probability. The look on Mion's face told me she wasn't going to let me off that easy. On top of that, this time, it wasn't just the person who finished last who would have to submit to the penalty game.
敗者一人一人に命令。つまり、ビリでなくても罰ゲームってことだな。
そういうこと。
勝者がない場合は、部活メンバーが全員 途中で脱落したらお流れか？
ケイちゃん、脳みそは元気？
何？
The look in Mion's eye became that of a lion bearing its fangs.
我が部の再生映がどう間違ったらこんなひよこども相手に負けるっての？ケイちゃん、初戦で消えて私に恥かかさないでよ。
He won't. Even so, I didn't feel threatened. The more into it my opponent was, the stronger I would become.
見てろ。ただミオンにいじめられてたわけじゃないってことを見せてやるぜ。
会おうね。決勝で。
The results of the draw were enough to make you cry conspiracy. No. All the members of the club were nicely divvied up amongst the 5 tables. How did this happen when the draw was that random? The thought that I was already caught in Mion's puppet strings made me feel uneasy. And that was fine though. I'll crush all your pity tricks. Well, actually, hold on a second. Amongst the 5 tables. Okay, so each group, is it like each group of 3 then? I'll crush all your pity tricks. Now, where were my opponents? Everybody was headed to the table corresponding to the number on the target. Oh, the competition on my table was these 2, huh? Okay, so yeah, so I was thinking that the groups would be of 5, but no, it would actually be of 3. So we have 5 groups. So yeah, we are gonna have like one last round with with the 4 girls and Keiichi. It's just that until then, we're gonna have to deal with these 2 little fellas right over here. Hello there. They look younger than me. Huh?
あれ、お前ら学校のクラスメイトだよな。
あ、どうも。富田です。彼は岡村です。
You look awfully familiar, Tomita. Do you have like a relative that is much older than you? And Okamura. Okamura-kun greeted me by nodding his head. So my opening round was to be against my juniors from school. I'm just saying, but it seemed like a pretty easy matchup. Lucky! Time to destroy them without mercy.
じゃあみんな、それぞれに対戦ゲームを決めて始めてちょうだい。
Alright, well, let's crush the competition. Although, let's not hurt them too much, Keiichi. And they are still babies. With Mio's declaration, the inside of the store suddenly became lively. Everybody was yelling their favorite games at each other, trying to gain an advantage before they started. Even my 2 classmates, who seemed taciturn at first glance, began to fiercely insist on their own games as soon as the signal was given. Of course, I would kick those suggestions aside. There was absolutely no reason to pick a game your opponent was good at.
悪いな。どれも知らないゲームなんだ。もっと知名度の高いやつにしてくれ。
Of course, they didn't agree to the games I suggested either. I could only smirk bitterly. Naturally, after 5 minutes, this table still couldn't agree on a game. Obeying the rules, we asked the store owner to decide on a game. Clearing his throat, the shop owner brought over a board game from the back of the store. It was a game called Billionaire. Oh, quite the vintage we have here. Come to think of it, if you lose, you have to buy this game. And that damn shop owner. Was he using this competition to get rid of all the games he couldn't sell? Well, that is a tactic, I guess.
これなら俺も知ってるよ。2人も知ってるよな。ルーレットを回してゴールを目指す。最後に清算して一番お金を持ってるやつが勝ちだ。
The two nodded in agreement. Finally, the game was underway. Have we actually played this game in the first chapter? It sounds familiar. At that time, I already had a feeling of impending crisis. I mean, it's sort of similar to Monopoly, I guess. I wouldn't realize why until the game progressed a bit.
1、2、3、4出産祝いをもらう。全員から5000ドルもらう。悪いね。
Okay, I built a bit of a lead. And yeah, that is Monopoly. I feel like I remembered that specific thing. Oh, I am having a baby. Now time to give me some money, motherfuckers.